Hey everybody! Can you hear me alright? How are the levels? They look good on my end, but let me know if anything needs to change. So, I know last week I was like, maybe I'll put together my Bane Blade or whatever, but my husband threw this guy on Sprue on my desk and was like, you want to paint a Space Wolf? And I was like, yeah. So this is Geigor Fellhand. He is from 30k lore, and he's part of the 13th. Became Wolfen. I'm not super caught up on his lore in particular, but he's got lots of doodads and thingamajigs, so I'm excited to get started on him. So I think what I'm going to do today is work on the armor. Normally I would do the face first, but I think the face is actually quite like open and easy to get to, so I'm going to start with the armor, and I'm going to try and make him fit in with my Ragnar Blackmane because I really like this color combo that I have going here. So, but I painted this so long ago that I don't really remember how I did it. So it might take a little bit of trial and error as we get there. But this is what we're gonna try and go for. I remember this took me so long to do, so I may not end up doing it as detailed as this guy, but I mean, we'll see once we get going on him. So that's the plan. How is everybody doing? I hope that you are all well. You can hear me clearly. Excellent. I have a giant cup of coffee, so I'm super good to go. Okay, so I think I'm going to start with a really dark base. I'm not sure if I did this last time, but I think I'm just going to go in and paint this black gray. This is a color that I usually use for edge highlighting black. But I think that it'll be a nice base for what we're gonna do next without being like just black. So I'm gonna throw this into the palette, and I'm just gonna like base coat all of the armory bits. I am going to be trying, besides the color of the armor, I am going to be trying to sort of follow the box art for the iconography and all of his doodads and thingamajigs. So might have to refer back to box art. It depends how far we get along on this guy today. In general, like, I kind of struggle with power armor. I find it difficult to highlight sometimes, so I'm not gonna like expect myself to get to a certain level because I don't know how long it's gonna take me. So I'm just gonna go in, and I'm using an old brush that I really don't care much about because base coating is kind of hard on brushes. So that's what I'm doing, going in. Hear my dog is crying? Maybe not. Maybe my husband's home? Ah, yes, husband's home. Okay, I think this will be a nice dark base. It is kind of blue based as well. Which the other colors that I'm using in here are also kind of blue based. This is Titan Dark Blue. And then this one is Field Blue. And then I'm not sure how much contrast I'm going to want. I may throw on some Fenrisian Gray as an edge highlight, but I'm not 100% sure because I know for a fact that I didn't do it on this guy. So I may not use that one, but I pulled it out anyway, so. Okay, back at it. So Space Wolves, I consider my first army. I mean, I had Chaos Space Marines, but I really didn't enjoy painting them. They're just like not my thing at all. So I kept the ones that I painted, but so the Space Wolves I sort of consider my first true army that I actually played with, and I still have a bunch of my first Space Wolves. I've painted them kind of like box art. So like very much the baby blue, and I don't like that baby blue anymore, so I'm not going to be painting my army that color going forward. I don't think it's my aesthetic anymore. Kind of grown past that. Hey, Joseph, how's it going? Yeah, so in order to get this camera to actually focus, because I had issues with it last week, I had to turn up the brightness. So the colors are going to show up brighter on the stream than they are in real life, but I figured that that was probably acceptable in order to get this silly camera to actually focus. But I think that you'll still kind of get like the idea of what I'm doing in terms of like highlights and stuff. I'm also wearing my Gear Gets Mech Shop t-shirt in celebration of our Hot Git summer sale that's going on right now. So all physical models except super heavies on the website are all 20% off until the end of August. And all STLs are 35% off. You have to use the code HOTGETSUMMER35 to get that code, STL discount. So you just use it at checkout. But I'm super proud of the artwork that I did for this particular sale, so, you know, his model holds up even after all these years. He has great movement. It's a very detailed model. I really like it. But, I mean, there's a reason why Space Wolf players like Space Wolves, right? It's like, it's got all the doodads and thingamajigs, and they look very Space Wolfy. I wanted to do like some Primaris Space Wolf models. I have a ton. Like I have basically an army that I still have to put together. Like it's all new in box. So I will probably end up doing that at some point. I've been really feeling this call to paint some Space Wolves for a few months now, so I'm really excited to be giving it a shot and to see if I can maybe do it a little faster, because my Space Wolves, when I first started painting, they took forever to do, like just forever. I always felt like I had to go back and like fix every little thing, and like I kind of know where it comes from. Like back then, way back in the day in 7th edition, like the gatekeeping for women was like even greater, and I always felt like I had to be perfect to be taken seriously. I still feel this way, but I think that's why it just took me so long to paint anything, because I knew that it would be scrutinized so badly. And now, I mean, it still does happen, especially in 30k spaces, but I'm starting to like care less about what the gatekeepers want to think and just sort of like do my own thing. So that's why I'm painting him my Space Wolf scheme instead of trying to like perfectly do the box art. Okay. I'm not quite sure. I didn't pull up the box art for this guy, so I'm not entirely sure what all of the iconography colors are on this like big trophy rack, but I'm pretty sure that these are gold. You know what, I'm just gonna paint them anyway. It's a nice dark color, so metallics will go over it well anyway, so I don't think it'll be that big of a deal. Little space wolf head things on the backpack here. Pretty sure all of that is gold. I'm fairly certain. All this part on the top, but okay, base coat down. What color should I wash it? Like, I'm pretty sure I just washed this black. If I washed it at all. Did I even wash this? Oh boy, it's been a while. I definitely didn't wash it blue, so we'll be washing it black. This model is super cool. Yeah, Space Wolves are super cool. Hey, Emil, how's it going? I am well. I am excited to be getting back to doing some Space Wolves. I was actually thinking too, I was like, it'd be kind of cool just to like collect all the characters and stuff and paint them up. With all the vehicle facings. I never listened to a neckbeard. Yeah, I mean, it's hard, right? Because, like, I would like to be seen as a gamer like anybody else, but, you know, sort of painfully reminded more times than I would like that that's not really ever going to be the case for me unless something drastically changes in this hobby and women start thinking that, like, I don't know, little miniature toys are cool. Like, there's more women in the hobby than there has been in a really long time, but, I mean, it's still probably less than 10% women, right? Black wash should make it gritty. Well, I'm gonna wash it, and then I'm gonna do, like, layer highlights on it, so it's not gonna look like dirty or anything, right? Because, like, he doesn't look too gritty or dirty. So, yeah, but I'm pretty sure that I washed this. I mean, I maybe didn't, but I was fairly certain I did. But a character collection sounds honest. Like, apparently Space Wolves have the most characters of, like, any other Space Marine chapter, so, yeah, I mean, there's a lot. I also won, so Jim Vessel was doing a giveaway, so I won, like, a special edition Games Day. I think he's a Space Wolf captain, so, like, from early 2000s. He's so little, he's metal, and I actually think doing a little bit of, like, old hammer metal miniatures would be cool, too, so I might put that one together at some point in the future and do that one on stream, too. Been painting up my custom Imperial Guard regiment. The Baneblade scares me, but I'm fighting on. I just recently was gifted a Baneblade by my husband, so I haven't quite decided how I want to paint it yet. I'm kind of leaning towards like the camo pattern that I did on my Chimeras. I can grab one actually. They're probably pretty dusty. So I have this like camouflage pattern, and I was thinking about doing that all over the Baneblade, just because I think it looks cool. And then, so my artillery pieces are like this dark kind of color, my fast attack pieces are black, and then most of my like just regular Lehman Russes and stuff are this gray color, so I figured the Baneblade could also have all of the colors on it and it will look pretty cool. But I'm not 100% decided on it because doing this camo does take time and it's kind of a pain in the butt. But that's my most solid idea that I have for mine so far. I think the number of Space Wolf characters has a run for their money with the number of Ultramarines characters. Like, named characters? Do they have as many in, like, 30k as well? Half of my collection is metal because that's the only way they sold them. I'm dating myself. Yep. How are we doing here? Just waiting to see. I've still got this to dry. A little bit in there. You know what? I'm just gonna like. I think I'm just gonna use the hairdryer because. So it's funny because. Oops. Maybe I won't. It's funny because like I live in a desert. So it's very dry, and last night I was trying to paint my night haunt, which requires like glazing and getting your paint to like just the right consistency, and I could not keep my palette at the right consistency, so I was getting so frustrated. I only ended up painting like 4 of my night haunt. And today, because it rained last night, now it's taking like longer for the paint to dry. So, just can't win here. Okay. The tank color is legit. Yeah, I mean, I really like it. It just like takes so long to paint it. It's a beast on the tabletop. Been using it with 2 times Astropath support and the tank ace. I'm following the Duncan Rhodes tutorial on how to paint it. Never finished painting a vehicle before. I love painting vehicles, and I paint them all by brush as well. Like I don't airbrush anything. So I just love it. Talking Citadel minis, I've got an army of Steel Legion to clean and paint up. Not looking forward to it, especially since my word bearers have a way to go. Well, it's a good thing about the hobby. Like, it may seem like there's like not enough time or whatever, but I don't know. Like the models aren't going anywhere. You can always get to them. I used to like exclusively paint to play, and now that I've stepped back from trying to play competitively and knowing that my local Age of Sigmar crew is very like chill and they don't care if your stuff is completely painted, it's allowed me to sort of bounce around and try to paint other things and just sort of like find my love of painting again, which is really, really nice. And I think, oh man, this little marine like brings me back, man. Also, I was like really against buying into the Horus Heresy, but the Horus Heresy crowd is also chill, and they're like, oh, just like play whatever you want, like proxy whatever you want. So I might bring out the Space Wolves to actually play 30k in the next few weeks or so that's pretty exciting. Good evening, Stainsby. How's it going? Everybody laughed at me for collecting metal 40k models, but now that we're starting to play Horus Heresy, I have a ton of models that are appropriate for that time. Honestly, I kind of like metal models. Like, they have a character and a feel to them that I really enjoy. I mean, my ogre army is like half metal models, so there's that. How do you get a solid finish on a vehicle without it showing brush strokes? I'm glad you asked. I would rather paint 1,000 troops than one vehicle. Contrast paint addict. Yeah, so in my experience and in my style of painting, what you need is a filbert brush. I don't really have one. I need to go buy more. Because I've turned all mine into like dry brushes, so you can't see the shape. But this is my dusting brush, so it's a filbert, so you can kind of get the sense of the shape. So this is the brush I use to like dust my models if it's been a while. So this is the shape of brush that I use when painting tanks and things, but I use it. This is a dry brush now, so don't judge me. But like in this size or maybe a little bit bigger. But this is the shape, so it's like flat this way, and then it's flat, but it has these rounded edges. And in my opinion, this, along with doing like 2 coats, well, it depends. I can get it down to like 1 coat, but this shape of brush for me is the best at not leaving brush strokes. So yeah, that and thin paint, and that's all that I really do, and then it just ends up looking like, this color is notoriously hard to work with, this green, but then it ends up looking like this in the end. You know, if you're somebody who likes battle damage, oh, I have a piece of junk on here. Let me just use my dusting brush to dust my tank I haven't used in 6 months. So yeah, that's kind of like the finish that you end up getting, and then I have a super special matte coat that I put on, and then that even like dulls down any brush strokes that you may or may not have left on the mini. So that's how I do it, and then I'm just like patient. I find it's like my zen time when I'm painting, so not necessarily like on a schedule or anything. So is it the fastest way to paint? No. Probably the fastest way is still going to be like airbrushing it, but if you are like me and you have a personal style that you like to adhere to that requires you to use a brush, then that's how I do it. Okay, I'm gonna be like a little heavier with the wash down at the bottom. It's because I want like more contrast down there. And again, I use an old brush for this because I just like jam the paint in there at these stages, so it's not really healthy for your brushes to paint like that. So I always have like a little bin of new brushes, and then I have a bin of old tired brushes beside me, so that I have the option of like dry brushes, base coat brushes, and wash brushes, or I've got more fine detail brushes. Does Horus Heresy play like old 40k? As far as I can tell, yes. My husband was actually talking a little bit about like the keywords and stuff, and it's very, very similar to 7th edition. I never played earlier editions, but I played 7th edition. And there definitely are things that are very similar. I don't know, like, I haven't looked at the rules. This is something that I'm just sort of toying with at the moment, but I've heard there's like reactions now, so that's something that's kind of like something from AOS that Age of Sigmar has, so I'm excited to try that out. pretty sure that most of this standard is gold, but we're gonna worry about that later. I'm gonna have to pull up some box art to look at, I think. Might do that while this is drying. Okay. So we'll let our boy dry a little bit. Is Geigor a conversion? Nope, you can buy him. He's a 30k model, so you can still buy him. He's on the website still. He looks great. Thanks. I'm just getting started with base coat. Your guard army made me want to start my own guard army. Still got the stickers you send me, and they keep me motivated to paint. Aw, Neil. That's so sweet. That is so sweet. Well, I hope that you enjoy playing guard. It is a bit of a slog still, but that new book should be out by the end of the year. Hopefully, it isn't overpowered, but it's better than what we have now. That's my goal. Like, you know, the porridge is not too hot and it's not too cold, but it's somewhere like right in the middle. That's what I'm hoping for. Okay. So I'm just gonna pull up this picture of him so that I can kind of... Oh, looks like that's kind of black. That seems odd. I'm probably not. Well, this is black. Okay, so it looks like his little, like, wolf heads are black to match this, like, little cross section on his armor. This icon on the front of his shins are also black. His bolter is black. Okay, so there's like some black on him. I'm gonna have to think about how to do that so that, well, I guess it's fine. Guess it's fine. I was thinking it might like blend too much into the armor, but I mean, Ragnar here has some black, so, and it looks fine. So this will be fine. It's fine. This will be fine. Okay, so I have that queued up for me. That's super helpful, thank you. I have 4 Sisters of Battle vehicles to paint. Yeah, I think... I feel like if you know somebody who has an airbrush, that is usually like the fastest way to go. But, I mean, I don't really do anything super fancy with my tanks. Like, I don't do any battle damage or anything like that. I just sort of paint them and clear coat them, and that's it. I've just made a video on how to paint Geigor. I don't know how to pronounce his name. It's a cool mini. Yeah, it is really cool. Like, my husband literally threw him down on my desk the other day, and I was like, ooh, I want to paint that. Also, there's always dog hair everywhere because I have a space wolf of my own. His name is Lucas the Trickster. So I'm like constantly on the look for like stray Lucas hairs. I 1 win, 8 losses with guard. Lost 77-88 against Necrons today, but I'm still hyped. Had an epic play with fire upon my position to kill my own Inquisitor so I could deny him kill points. That's so funny. Like for the like god, comment for the comment throne. Hey Scary, how's it going? Okay, I'm gonna get back to cheating with the hairdryer here, so let's get this guy dry, shall we? And I know it's like really close to black, the color that I've just painted this, but it's going to be slightly lighter. And once we start putting the Titan blue-gray or gray-blue or whatever onto it, I think that it'll be a nice base. I will say the mecha color, it's not actually made for miniature painting like this, but I couldn't find a color like this in the other lines. So that's why we're going with it. It's not terrible to work with, but it does have a different consistency for sure. Oh, I'm so happy that my palette isn't drying up today. It was like terrible trying to paint last night. So dry. Looks like we've nailed the consistency today. So, while I'm waiting for this to dry, I want to tell you guys a story. So, some of you may know, some of you may not, but I'm diagnosed with osteoarthritis. So, this is a disorder that has no cure. There's nothing that you can really do. You just sort of like live with it until you got to get a knee replacement, essentially. So, anyway, I want to do as much as I can without any pain medicine, like pharmaceuticals or anything. So I've been trying all sorts of weird stuff. And something that I got in the mail today is actually capsaicin cream. So it is literally spicy pepper cream. And I was like, how spicy can it really be? So I like touched my tongue to it, and it's like, it's habanero spicy. It's not ghost pepper spicy, but it's habanero spicy. And so I tried it the other night, and actually I did a test spot, and on the test spot it didn't burn or anything, because it says like, oh, some people may experience burning sensation, and I was like, okay. So I did a test spot on my arm, and then it was like, this doesn't even burn. So then 24 hours later I was like, okay, I'm gonna use the cream. So I put it on. I have a bad hip, and I have two bad knees, but one is way worse than the other. So I put it on my hip and my knee, and I was like, oh, it's like not even that bad. And then like in the middle of the night, I woke up and I was like burning hot. It was like, I guess maybe it had like penetrated the skin enough by that point, but it's like my whole body was like, it's hot. Everything was burning. However, it does seem to be working, because in the morning I was a lot less stiff. Going down the stairs and going back up the stairs again were a lot less painful. So I hope it's not a placebo, and I hope that it actually does work. But anyway, it was frickin' spicy, let me tell you. God dang it. I even hit the reminder thing on the pending video today. I just got started, really, a little while ago. All I can imagine watch the mini getting hair dried is him throwing his hair around saying L'Oreal. I mean, really, would you have hair like this if you wore a helmet all the time? You know, because they do wear their helmets. They just don't like to. We're still a little bit in there, I think, so we'll just keep doing this a little bit longer. You could spread it on a sandwich. I don't know if you'd want to, because it is still like a hand cream, essentially. I don't think you'd want to put it on a sandwich. I know this sounds like a joke, but WD-40 actually helps on osteoarthritis. Bandage with a bit of it soaked in can help. Interesting. I'm not sure that I have the guts for that, because anything that smells really bad, I'm not into it. I have a very sensitive sense of smell. That's a good thing. The spicy pepper cream does not smell, which was nice. First thing I did was like sniff it, and like, okay, good. Doesn't smell like anything. Just a nighttime of spicy burns for less stiffness. It's not just stiffness though. Like, it like hurts in the morning. My body really hurts. So having it hurt less is very good for me. Okay. Like I said, I'm not sure if I'm gonna make this guy as detailed as Ragnar. Ragnar's my bae, by the way. Almost named my dog Ragnar, but I figured Lucas kind of like was easier for people to say. But yeah, spicy pepper cream. Who would have thought? So cross your fingers that it continues working for me, because I really, really, really don't want to have to rely on pharmaceuticals. Okay, so Mecha Color is an airbrush paint. I don't know if you ever used it before. It is an airbrush paint. It is made for Gundams, so it is quite thin. And when you paint it on with a brush, it's kind of transparent. So this might take a couple coats to do this first sort of highlight. You know what I did on this one? I actually like wet blended every panel, and I don't want to do that on this guy because I feel like it's just gonna take forever. So I'm not gonna. Good for stiff joints. Yeah. I always found that Sierrasil helped with my arthritis when I used it, though I can't get it in this area right now. I don't know what that is. It doesn't smell great. No, WD-40 just smells... Actually, it smells really bad. Ragnar rocks. Ragnar does rock. Okay. So I know that this shoulder pad is this color. Also, I got these brushes at Home Depot. They were $4 each, and I'm putting them through the ringer right now to see if they're like a decent brush, and I'm not 100% sure on them for base coating, but really enjoyed them for edge highlighting, surprisingly. I was edge highlighting Night Haunt last night, and normally you have to sort of get to know your brush. You have to use like a bit of a broken in brush, you know, you gotta feel the personality, but this one just kind of like worked straight out of the bag, and I was like, oh, interesting. Sierrasil is a mineral caplet, no taste or spiciness. A mineral caplet for pain? Tell me more. Because I live in Canada, so when I go to sleep at night, I just take a little bit of CBD and THC oil, and that gets me through the night. I can like sleep through the night, but getting started in the morning, like my body just sort of hurts. Makes it really difficult to get up and out of bed and walk down the stairs. Which is why I got the spicy pepper cream. You know what the thing is though? It like burns me for 12 hours. And I'm like, it says that I'm supposed to use it 4 times a day. I don't think I have the will to use it 4 times a day, to be perfectly honest. Need to paint bolter shells, but I can't find my brass balls. I feel like there's maybe a story there. What am I missing? Honestly. Okay. I should have worn my glasses. I wonder if my husband would bring me my glasses. I'm gonna ask. Hi, buddy. What are you doing? Oh my gosh, I can't type. Jesus. Okay, there we go. That took way too long to type. Are my glasses on the fridge? Good old nails. am gonna have to glaze this color on. It's just really not made for brushes. It's still okay, like you could still work with it, but it's just a little finicky. And like I used a mecha color for my my Ravage Star mini that I did for promo there, and I was like, immediately, I was like, why did I choose this? This model is so detailed, working with this finicky paint. Oh my goodness. But I do like the color. Like, the color to me is just like perfect for what I had in mind for my wolves. Just think it's so pretty. Even if it's a bit finicky. That's a spicy neoball. Brass Balls is a Formula P3 paint by Privateer Press. Brass Balls. That's so funny. I've actually heard that the P3 paint's really good, but nobody really sells it around here, and the shipping's kind of expensive. Also, I'm sad that you can't tell, but I have my hair in like these tiny like Leia buns because it's hot and I just don't want to wear my hair down. Okay, well that took a while, but I did a shoulder pad in this color, but yeah, I feel like it's just because it's got like kind of a rubbery kind of consistency, so I feel like I might have to just glaze over top of this just to like out a bit. Yeah, I think that's gonna help. A little bit here. The sacrifices I make to get the color that I want. My tanks are like that too. That green is just as finicky to work with, and it's like no excuse for it. It's just like that green paint. It just oxidizes like crazy, so you just are never quite sure like what you've already painted and what you've not, and yeah. Okay, what does this shoulder pad look like on the other side? Okay, so it's mostly blue too. Okay. Mamma mia. P3 paints settle really quickly, though they're easy to shake up again. Okay. I mean, honestly, like, contrast paints are kind of hard to shake up too, but I have a vortex mixer, so highly recommend. As usual, you're killing it on the nail game. Why, thank you. I'm thinking about painting some Stormcast Eternal models. I have some characters, and I kind of want to paint them white and gold, so I wanted to throw them together and see what they looked like. So yeah, I think I'm gonna build one and paint one and see how I feel about it. I might have to pull out the smaller brush for this particular shoulder pad. I was gonna say knee pad. That's not correct. Shoulder pad. But stubborn, so I'm gonna try this bigger brush first. So my husband was telling me that there's this YouTuber who did a video about how small companies want to work with him. He's kind of a bigger YouTuber, but how he can't do it because like non-GW content gets like no views, and I found that really sad. But I do notice it myself because normally I would post a painted miniature onto my Instagram and it would get like 800 to 1,000 likes and a bunch of comments and stuff, and as soon as it's something that's not Games Workshop, it's like 100 to 200 likes. It's like, I don't care personally because I'm just gonna paint what I want, but like, it was sad to me that this guy like wants to work with small companies and he can't because he can't. One, I mean, obviously he's got to make a living too, but like, he can't offer them the same kind of reach that his Games Workshop content makes. I don't know, like, I just found that really, really sad that, you know, there's a bunch of small companies who are basically not going to get the same kind of viewership. Woo, excuse me. I did a couple Stormcasts with dark brass and white, and I liked it a lot. I'm going to redo them though because I did a terrible job building them. You learned a lot, is what you're saying. And now you want to do better. I can appreciate that. Hi, buddy. How you doing, Lucas? How you doing, buddy? Hi. See a dog, pet a dog. It's the rule. Hi, buddy. But yeah, so I mean, I was really shocked at like how crazy the difference is between Games Workshop content online and like doing literally anything else. Also, I feel like there's a rise in like men complaining about women content creators putting their faces in like their content, and kind of makes me want to do it. In general, I don't actually post a lot of selfies or whatever, but I kind of want to do it just to like troll the trolls. I mean, I probably shouldn't, but it would be funny. I'm just like sort of sick of like seeing women get this this complaint when I know my male friends don't like that post selfies don't get that complaint at all. So it makes me mad. Okay, there's like a little, like, not the greatest paint job. This is the one bad thing about painting on stream, is I can't hold the miniature as close to my face as I normally would. So it takes me longer because I have to like bring the mini up to my face to like double check my work, essentially. That's a lot of the times why I finish models off stream, is because I have a hard time seeing exactly what I'm doing. But I do want to finish this guy. Like, I want to do this guy start to finish on stream. So it might take like a few weeks to get him done, but it. I might actually wash this after. We'll see. You should post a bunch where you can like barely see the model. 90% face, 10% mini. Just have it be like this, with like my mini like this, like that. Boom. Okay, I'm gonna look at my art here. See if I can see what that is. Yeah, it looks like it's blue. Hey. It's just like getting so tiring to see that like men can act a certain way in the community and not ever have to hear anything about it, and then as soon as a woman does the same thing, it's like, no honey, you're held to a different standard. Like, I don't know, kinda pisses me off, because it's always been this way, and it was getting better for a while, and now I just think it's getting worse again. I don't know if it's just because, like, with the Horus Heresy release. Actually, I do know it's because of the Horus Heresy release. Like, the incidence of, like, weird, misogynistic BS definitely increased as soon as that was released. Minis and mugs! I'm into it. I'm actually really tempted to do it, Zan. Could just like troll the entire community. Oh look, our faces! I do enjoy this color. It's like not quite blue. So I always kind of wanted my Space Wolves to kind of be like the color of glacier water, which is blue, but also extremely dark. So that's why I've been fighting with this paint, because it's like perfect. Perfectly captures what I want. Minis and mugs. Oh, that'd be so funny. Need to get some very talented freehand painters to paint their own faces on their minis and then post photos with face mini and mini face. Oh my goodness. Oh, that would be freaking hilarious. Should get like Zari art on Instagram to just see if he could do it. That would be incredible. I am not good at freehand, personally. this... Okay, so now I remember what it's like to have Space Wolves. It is a lot of painting around doodads and thingamajigs. Back to the concept art here. Okay, it looks like his gauntlets are mostly blue. So we'll go ahead with mostly blue. Gauntlet, his lightning claw, Tanya. God, do you even play this game? You're only here for clout. My husband and I were actually talking about that because that is something that, like, a lot of women painters and hobbyists and gamers hear in the community is, oh, you're only in it for clout. And I was like, what does that even, like, mean? I actually, like, looked up the definition of clout to be like, okay, so... And it's literally just to get influence. And, like... Sure, I guess. So you're calling people influencers or whatever? Like, that's fine. Anyway, I just found it, like, really funny. You're only in it for clout. Okay, I'm gonna spend these, like, thousands of dollars on these overpriced plastic miniatures and then spend hours painting them and learning to play the game just to, like, get a little bit of influence in a teeny tiny niche community online. Come on now. Come on. Give it a rest. Sounds so silly. Sounds so silly. I'm going to have to practice if I want to do my Rickroll Munda Mini. Yes, please do it. Practice freehand, that is. Yes, of course. What clout? Like, what are they going to do with it, right? Like, what are you going to do with it? Okay, you've got this influence in your teeny tiny niche sphere. Now what? Anyway, I just found it really funny. I was like, oh, okay. Clout. Heaven forbid a woman might actually just enjoy the hobby that you also enjoy. And maybe she wants to share it with you. Heaven forbid. Egads. The horror. Can you imagine anything more horrifying? What are you gonna do with it? Take over the world! Super niche hobby. This gauntlet has so many doodads and thingamajigs on it. What are they going to do with it? No. Wrong answers only. Tell me, what would these women seeking clout, what would they do with it? I'm starting to think maybe this is not the color that I used here. Because it looks more... Yeah, maybe it is. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually spray it. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that I did use this color. I just wet blended the crap out of it. It's looking quite blue. But at the same time, like, I don't think that, like, everybody would have the same armor. You know, like, if you were older, you've been around for a while, your armor's like a relic, it might look different. So right now I'm reading Deliverance Lost. So it's a book about Corvus Corax. And I gotta say, a lot of people sort of hate on Gav Thorpe. Like, out of all of the Black Library writers, I feel like he gets the most sort of, like, hate. And I'm not really too sure because I'm enjoying the book. It's really interesting to have a look into the Primarch. I feel like he's different from other Primarchs. Like, his inner monologue, he is very, like, he's having, like, vulnerable moments and stuff. I kind of like that. It makes it, like, humanizes this Primarch. And yeah, I don't know why people hating on him so bad, because I'm kind of enjoying it. I mean, I do enjoy the books that are a little bit, like, less fighty and a little bit more character development. Clearly, they're hoping to use it to launch a reality TV career and appear on celebrity game shows. What, like old Hollywood squares and stuff? Okay, I like that answer, actually. They ran out of that shade paint. What shade paint? Got one of my captain's arms done except for the wash. Working on the other one right now. Ooh. Very nice, very nice. So many doodads and thingamajigs. Sorry, Pezler, the polychromatic. What chapter are you doing? Are you doing Blood Angels? I can't remember. Can't remember. I also have, like, the worst memory, and I'm sorry. I'm just gonna apologize to everybody well in advance for my god-awful memory. It's always been that way. Unless I read it. If I read it, it's usually, like, pretty much in there. I mean, if I read it and then write it, it's like, it's pretty much, it's in there. It's not going anywhere. But if people just, like, tell me stuff, it's like in one ear and completely out the other. I'll post the first arm on your Facebook page if you want to look. Sure. Ultramarines. Oh. Yeah, you can post it. I'd love to see. So apparently, the Lightning Claw on Bjorn the Fell-Handed is the same lightning claw that's on Senior Geigor here. I would have thought that was kind of cool. I haven't like read a lot of Space Wolf lore. I do want to rectify that though. Like, I've read the Ragnar Blackmane series, loved it. He's like just the best. I have read Lucas the Trickster, also amazing. Does anybody else enjoy the Black Library books? Have you read any Space Wolf ones that you would recommend? It was pretty cool getting a bit of Bjorn the Fell-Handed's like sort of early background. I thought that was pretty cool because I think it was Prospero Burns. I think it was Prospero Burns where we sort of get like the first sort of look at pre-Dreadnought Bjorn. You mean that they're the same claw in universe? Like Bjorn has a Geigor's claw? Yeah, apparently. Like if you look at them, they have the exact same design. You gotta post it on your live stream notice. Hi Kyle, look! I'm wearing your shirt. So late. That's okay, Mark. I'm still gonna be around for at least a little bit. It's been so hot lately that getting my dog to go out for a walk has been like pulling teeth. So he might not come and get me for a while yet. But yeah, like, so Bjorn's claw is... It's got, like, the exact same design, and I'm not seeing this design anywhere else. So, is it the same? I've been working all morning on one of those collabs I mentioned to you. Still need to get their side done up, but we had fun with it so far. Amazing. I can't wait to see the previews. Man, I feel like this guy's armor is just like the most detailed that I've ever painted. Like, compare all of his doodads and thingamajigs to Ragnar. Ragnar doesn't have nearly the same kind of detail. I mean, I get it, he's Primaris, and Primaris are kind of boring. But it's like a lot of detail to paint all around. I've only read part of the first book of the Aaron Dembski Bowden Night Lords trilogy. I get precious little reading time. I just can't bring myself to care enough about Warhammer lore to spend it on Black Library. That's fair. That's fair. I'm kind of like a little bit addicted to the Black Library books. I just really enjoy them. I think I enjoy the different writers' takes on the universe. But yeah, I definitely prefer the books where there's like less war stuff and more character development. I really like how Graham McNeil handles character development. I'm gonna finish this arm over here, which does look a whole lot less fancy than this claw. I'll probably get in there and just find out that it's exactly the same amount of detail. When Call was upgrading the Primaris to make room for the extra organs, he had to cut the creativity part of the brain out. Luckily, he saved all those parts for some future project. Waste not, want not when it comes to genetic engineering superhumans. I will say, I do wish that they would have just, like, not changed the lore like that and just been like, oh look, Marines are big now. I mean, I'm over it, but it just seemed kind of weird. Like, here's our flagship. They're kind of small when we compare it to the rest of the scale of this game that we have. Oh, well, let's just keep the small ones. What? Hi. Well, if the AdMech books taught us anything, an extra brain or 3 laying around is just a recipe for madness, and orcs with human skin stitched over top. Kyle, do you just read, like, any book that has orcs in it? Like, see a orc book, read a orc book? Although I will say, I really, really enjoyed Brutal Cunnin. I thought that was a really awesome sort of take on the orcs. I wonder if they were kind of testing the water, whether they could do a sort of AOS style complete overhaul of the 40k lineup. Maybe. I mean, I don't think that they would. Personally, just because, like, it's their flagship. Like, you really can only do it... Like, the only reason they could do it on Age of Sigmar is because nobody was buying anything for fantasy anymore. So, you know, like, you're pretty much gonna stop making the line anyway. You might as well try and reboot it. I do feel kind of bad for the people who are so heavily invested in the old world, and I really, really hope that when the old world stuff comes out, that they're really happy with it. I think that if anybody thinks you're not going to have to buy anything for it, then, like, they are a company that wants to make money. Like, you are going to have to buy stuff for it. Because I've heard some people say that, like, oh, I hope that I can use all of my old minis. And I hope that you can too, but you're definitely going to have to buy stuff, you know. That's how business works. Because that was the problem, I think, before with Old World, was that just people just had what they wanted and they just stopped buying stuff. Oh, dang it. I did read a few pages of Brutal Cunning. I bought it for my ho-ho hobby vices person last year. It was pretty good. It was really good. It was like equal parts horrifying grimdark and like entertaining orcs just having a good time. A little bit of like orc politics as well, which I thought was really cool. Hard to copyright Renaissance Europe armies too. I support his work in general. I can't say I know him personally, but I did enjoy that book. The new AOS is, if nothing else, distinct from the real world. Yeah, I think it's also cool because it gives them sort of more creative license to create new and interesting things. I'm really enjoying all of like the models and stuff that are coming out, and I think they're just really interesting take that they are having with fantasy. As I just slip. So I am thinking about adding another streaming day, just to hang out, get stuff done. I'm not 100% sure if it would be all the time. It might be like once every couple weeks I do this extra day, but I am thinking about it. I just need to see if it fits into my schedule. But I do enjoy hanging out with everybody and getting some work done. I want to read The Infinite and The Divine. Me too. It gets really good reviews. The excerpts I've seen are hilarious. Like the ultimate Necron bromance. Seems awesome. a little bit on this backpack because I know that it is color. I have like a paper cut on the tip of this finger and it freaking hurts. Maybe I got the spicy pepper cream in there. Any chance you might do an evening stream? I really liked the 6 or 7 p.m. or whatever like that you used to do. It really depends on what I can fit into my schedule and still have time with my husband. The evenings are a little bit difficult because I do so much other stuff. So a lot of times in the evening I'm editing or recording YouTube videos. I'm recording for Forge the Narrative. I gotta get groceries one day a week. So I really have to look and see. But if I do find a time that I can do it, I'm gonna throw it into the Patreon Discord and see what the patrons think, because their opinion really matters to me. So if I find a couple times at work, then yeah, I'll ask the patrons and see what they think. If one works better for the majority of them, then that would probably be the one that I would pick. Gosh, there's just so many things on this backpack. So much stuff. I always like to see what you've done different to your finger stabbers when you're on live stream. Yeah, I'm going back down to like every 3 weeks instead of every 2 weeks. I'm gonna try it, but my nails just grow so fast that I don't know if I'll be able to like go full 3 weeks. But yeah, the old finger stabbers. I'm actually getting my toes done tomorrow, so but I'm not gonna share that with anybody because there's weirdos on the internet. So, but my mom and I are gonna get pedicures, so I'm just really excited to hang out with my mom tomorrow. And then later tonight, I'm getting together with some friends, which I haven't done in forever. Like, I've just been a hermit inside my house and just like missing all my friends, and everybody's got busy lives with kids and stuff, so it's really hard to actually get out there and like socialize as a woman without children in my 30s. It's like I'm thinking like maybe I should just find some younger or older friends, like some friends where their kids are already moved out and some friends who are not yet ready to have children, because then I maybe wouldn't be stuck at home alone so much. Maybe. Because really, like, the only thing that I have is game night. Like, game night is precious to me. I don't book anything on Saturday night, because that's when I throw dice. Everywhere. No, just joking. In the dice tray. The evening streams are great because Rory could watch with me. She really enjoyed that. I'll see what I can do. Like, the only time I could really see myself being able to do it might be a Friday. Honestly. And I feel like on Friday people just like have stuff to do. You should get the same design on your nails as Geigor has on his frost claws. like this like knot work kind of style. You know, I probably could get like some Space Wolf transfers put on a set. Probably have some Space Wolf nails. So what I'm thinking is I'm gonna finish up each layer that I start on stream. So like I'll finish all of this blue, but I'm not gonna move forward on it. I'm gonna like finish, like I'm gonna do it all the steps on stream. I may not finish them on the entire model, but like I'm gonna do everything on stream with this guy. So you can see like all of the highlights, all of the different colors that I'm doing. And then that way when I'm not on stream, I can still work on like my play pieces, things that I'm gonna be playing with relatively soon. So like I need to get my Night Haunt done, and an assembly line of 20 is gonna get real boring for you guys, I think. So that's the plan anyway, is to paint this guy on stream. It might take a few weeks, but we gonna do it. Okay. That's black. That's gonna be black. So just do a little bit here on the highlight. Oh, I also do talk to myself like that while I paint. Does anybody else talk to themselves while they paint? Is it just me? Like, I feel like I did it even before I started streaming. Just always talking to myself. It's normal, right? It's normal, right? Right, guys? I'm normal-ish. My allergies have just decided to, like, destroy me right now. It's been a week since I've had allergies. Why right now? Is it because I'm on stream? Whenever I have allergies, I also feel like a stereotypical nerd. Like, I had allergies so bad when I was a kid, like, to hay fever and stuff. But I just feel like it's such a, like, stereotypically nerdy thing to have. It's like super bad allergy. My allergies. I mean, I don't mind playing into the stereotype because, like, I am a nerd. It's just so funny. I talk to myself all the time, not just while painting. Yeah, okay, cool. I also do. It's also really good to get a dog because then you can like talk to the dog instead of talking to yourself all the time in public. Bonus. I don't know why my dog hasn't got me yet. It's like time to go walking. He's usually like strict on his schedule. It's actually kind of cute. Okay. I really tried to get all of this done on stream. I just don't think that is possible. So I think I'm gonna call it. My allergies are like really starting to bug me, so I gotta go take something for that. But I think I'm gonna call it there. I've started to put that dark blue on, and I'm gonna finish it. I just have basically his front and then like the back of the legs here to do in this. I'm gonna tidy it up a little bit, and then next week we will start throwing the highlights on, which are gonna be a mix of these two colors. So yeah, we're gonna start doing that, and then I think that that'll be, honestly, that will take probably the whole session, next session as well, to do these highlights. And then after that, then we can start throwing some of the different colors onto it. So I think most of his doodads and thingamajigs are red and black, so it'll be pretty easy to block out those colors. So that's what I'm going to do off stream, is just finish this particular step, and then I'm not going to move forward, so you guys can see everything that I end up doing with this guy. And yeah, I'm going to probably take a nap, take some allergy medication, and take a nap after taking my dog for a walk, because all of a sudden that really hit me. I feel better. Thank you, Zan. I'm gonna try my best to feel better. And yeah, thank you so much for hanging out with me today, everybody, and coming along with me on this Space Wolf journey as I decide to go back to my very first love. So thank you so much, and I hope to see you next week. And if I decide to throw an extra stream in the middle of the week, I will let everybody know on the Patreon and the Patreon Discord. So if you're not following those, that's going to be like the best place to get updates on what I am doing. And most of the updates on the Patreon, you don't actually have to pay to get those. Those will be public, so don't worry about that. And I love you all, and I hope that you have a great day, and I will see you next week. So be nice and roll dice. Bye, everybody.